Welcome back to the Oasis Podcast. Thank you for joining us again. So today I have with me Mr. Vision.
Yes, sir. It's me again.
So this episode we're gonna be talking about the holidays since they're closely approaching, really quickly actually.
My wallet.
Oh man, don't even listen.
Yeah, I saw some of the gifts under your tree. Some gifts looking big. Whoever them kids is.
Yeah, so I'm extra. I had my tree up since when, like right after Thanksgiving. I think I put the tree up.
Lord.
No, in December.
You one
of
of
like
those?
first day of December.
You one of those? You had your tree up since September?
Yeah, and the thing is like I'm usually way more extra to be honest, but this time I kept it real like basic.
How big is your tree?
It's a tiny tree actually.
You got one of those Charlie Brown trees?
Yeah, because this year I was just like, I got too much going on. I'm trying to move. Not move yet, but I'm anticipating moving. So I don't want to just have all this extra crap. And I didn't buy a real tree this year because it was just a mess last year. So I was just like, I keep it low key. But I love the holidays. I love Christmas.
You would be one of those.
So I like decorating and I like the feel and the smells and the colors and all that other good stuff.
What your house smells like? Well, I'm here, so I mean I know what it smells like.
What it smells like?
But tell the audience what it smells like.
It smells like pine and
Lord.
holiday berries. And
The house smells like cinnamon and trees. And
yeah. And that's how Christmas is supposed to smell like.
Christmas smells like that.
Yes.
I'm from Brooklyn. Christmas don't smell like that.
I'm from Brooklyn too. What you trying to say? Like,
I don't know what Brooklyn you from. Christmas smells like that.
Anyway.
On my block, Christmas smells like Newport. So.
That sounds terrible.
Newport's and Hennessy on my block. That's Christmas.
That sounds sad. I'm sorry. But even though this time of the year is supposed to be joyous, for some people, it's not like that for everybody, right? And a lot of people kind of deal with holiday blues. So this episode, I wanted to address that. I wanted to talk about seasonal depression, but mainly let's just keep it a little lighter and call it the holiday blues and just dealing with certain things that happen during the holidays. I feel like a lot of times we don't talk about, and that's dealing with a missing family member who just may be away and just not there with you or has passed away, dealing with breakups that happen right before the holidays, right? And now you have to go through a holiday without that person either, or dealing with your toxic family, right? That you have to see now, and you have to deal with our holiday dinners, gift exchanges, whatever, and now you have to mentally prep yourself for those experiences. And just talking about just that aspect, and also just being single during the holiday, right? Like another holiday, you're single and you happen to see family questioning you and asking you when are we expecting this and where are we going to expect that, and just kind of going through that feeling of like loneliness, because it happens during the holidays. So I wanted to talk about that. But first, before we jump into all that other good stuff, how you been?
You talking to me or the audience?
You. They can't talk back.
I'm pretty good actually. Like AJ, I'm anticipating a move. So I just been playing the side and listening and waiting for my agent to be like, all right, we good, and then we're good. I'm feeling good. Work is work. I took a week and a half vacation where I just sat on my couch.
I'm jealous.
Yeah, I sat on my couch and did nothing. I kept waking up early, unfortunately, but
the body's programmed like that.
My body, yeah.
So that happens when you're in your 30s, fam.
Yeah. And initially when I went back to work, I was like, oh, damn it. But I'm starting to feel the energy I needed now that I'm going back. Like the week is starting to roll again and I'm doing stuff. So I much appreciate that little staycation that I took.
That sounds so good.
For the audience, AJ's always pestering me about this kind of stuff.
Yes.
She does.
Yes. Self-care, y'all. I don't play them games, okay? These jobs don't love us, all right? You better take your time.
Speaking of self-care, I need your manicures and your pedicures. If we're going to start this self-care stuff, you're going to have to send me all the connects.
The nail salon is right around the corner, so when you leave here, just bus.
It's black owned?
Right? Nah, it's not. You want a black owned one, you're going to have to walk down
Yeah. We don't want to tell nobody where you live.
You know, like all the way down.
Yeah, all the way down.
And then bust that left.
And then make a right.
And then go like a few more blocks down that way.
Yeah, then make a right.
But yeah.
And then turn on East 59th Street, Manhattan.
I actually haven't not had a manicure or pedicure in quite some time. But anyway, I digress.
How you feeling though, AJ?
How am I feeling?
You look comfy. Sweatpants on, do-rag.
Very comfortable, actually.
Y'all,
yep.
She got a do-rag and a sweatshirt
I don't
on.
Be looking cute for nobody. I don't care. Like, comfort is my number one priority. How am I feeling? I'm not 100% sure. I love this time of year. Mm. And it also makes me sad this time of year. So I'm always stuck. Not always. This year, I'm stuck in a weird space. Last year, I was just flat out sad. This year, I'm just kind of like hopeful. But also, I don't know, like not as happy as I could be, I guess you can say. So, but I'm not in a bad space. Your man ain't doing it right for the holidays? Yeah. But he ain't got nothing to do with my mood.
Oh, okay.
It's just...
I'm about to call him up.
It's just... This is just how I get around this time of year. So I guess we can just jump right into the conversation. So I in previous episode, we talked about, just kind of the death and dying and spirituality. I disclosed and talked about my grandma passing. So this time of year is hard because of that. But her birthday is in November. So it's like... starting the like holiday season. Her birthday's literally in the beginning of November, so then it's like mourning the fact that she's not there for the birthday, and then mourning the fact that she's not there for Thanksgiving, just missing and seeing her face there and just having conversations with her during those times. And then Christmas was her favorite holiday, so that always hits me hard. Like it's like, oh man, like she would have been so happy, and yeah, she just would have been happy. So that makes me sad because growing up, Christmas wasn't like this weekend. I actually had the growing up Christmas story with my nephews and talking about, listen, y'all better be grateful and thankful because y'all got all this stuff. We ain't had nothing.
Oh, you're that auntie? You're that auntie?
Yes, the hell I am. And so, talking to them, but they're like this. No, they're really. They're different type of kids, and I'm happy about that. So they really understood and appreciated that. But like it's true, like Christmas was really about family. Like we got socks and maybe PJs if we were lucky on Christmas. Like there was no toys, abundance of toys and nonsense. Like it wasn't that. It was like we got to stay home, we got to chill with family and with our neighbors, play games, and just like eat, and that was it really. So that was what Christmas was for me. And so growing up, it was always this mindset. Of course, when you're a kid, you're like, I want toys, I want all that crap. But I was, I guess, different in a sense because I already knew that my family was not affording those type of things. We weren't getting those type of things. So I had to change my mindset so I wouldn't get super sad around those times. And so I began to like really appreciate, okay, I'm just going to spend time with family. And so as I got older and my siblings had kids, I always wanted to be like, there were some traditions and things I wanted to like have, and so so just being able to do those things. So I was just like kind of telling my nephews that story as well, like, this is the things that we were able to do, and these are the things that we appreciated, and it's not about the toys, it's not about this, it's not about that. And so having them really understand that piece of it, so just having a conversation with them, and just developing that tradition during the holidays. So as I got older, I used to be, I'm not the same person anymore, but I tend to be like the event planner for my family. So when it comes to Thanksgiving, when it comes to holidays, especially if there's a new child, right? It has to be a grand, like first Christmas or whatever. So like I tended to be that person to do that. But as people like, started getting older, their kids started getting older, they started being more, I guess, nuclear family focused. Things kind of fell off, and then I was just like, I don't feel like pressing it and pushing it so much. And so then I kind of then made it my business to just get tighter with like the ones who are still involved, at the kids who would ask to participate in activities like that. So my two nephews, they always know whenever there's a holiday approaching, like that weekend or prior or two prior, I'm planning something for us to do, right? And then spending time with with my mom and my grandma, because I know that's their favorite holiday, to be honest. My mom, not so too much crazy about it, but she's more jovial around that time. So she won't say it, but like you can feel it.
Yeah.
But grandma, oh, she loved it. Going to church and she'll talk about this and that. It was just yeah. And then getting her like what she wanted and how she would smile. It was just yeah. So not having that family as big as a family gathering anymore during the holidays, and then now grandma passing, it's like, it's sad, but yeah, but then like Christmas is also my favorite time of the year, so it's this weird feeling because I love buying people gifts. I love making someone happy, in that time, like getting something you really wanted, because I knew how it felt not getting what you wanted. And so being able to do that is nice for me. Like I like doing stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know, it's a weird space. I really can't explain it. It's just a weird space to be
I
in.
completely get it. I've never been so much of a holiday person, to be honest with you. Remember as a kid we used to celebrate Christmas like any other kid, and I suppose I was lucky in a sense because my mic's broken. Oh, you just fixing? I thought you were trying to flirt, girl. I was like, what are you doing? But no, I was lucky in a sense. In the 3-family apartment building I grew up in as a kid, we lived on the first floor. My mom, my stepdad, me and my 2 brothers, my grandma, my 2 uncles, and my 4 cousins lived on the 2nd floor, and the neighbors on the 3rd floor were like family to us too. I often reference them as my God family.
I like that.
They're not necessarily my God family, but I always reference them to that. So I just, I was lucky because we had that, and we all chipped in to make pretty decent Christmases. Mostly my mom, my grandma, my stepdad, but my uncles definitely chipped in. So did the neighbors or whatever. There was a lot of kids in that house, in that 3-family house.
It sounds like, that's why I said I love that. That sounds so fun.
Once my grandmother moved with my cousins, my grandmother moved back to Rhode Island. That's where she grew up, and we moved. I mean, I'm from East New York, Brooklyn, y'all, but we moved from East New York, Brooklyn, to East New York, Brooklyn. like if you know East New York,
what the heck?
If you know East New York, East New York is it's a tough place. And we went from the tough place to the Devil's Playground for real, the belly of the beast on that side. We still managed to have Christmas. My mom still did her thing. My stepdad still did their thing. I think Christmas kind of started to change when my stepbrother passed away. Was December 20th, and I mean we still did Christmases after that, but my stepfather wasn't.
Yeah.
He wasn't there all the way because his child had his child had passed away, which changed a lot for us, and I often reference my stepbrother as my brother because that's how my mom raised us. Like that's your brother, that's not your stepbrother. And then a couple years after that, my stepfather passed away right at the end of the holiday season.
Oh.
So we're talking like, in the January. Because, like, you still get...
Yeah.
If you're from New York, you know...
January still feels like holiday.
Yeah. So, once that kind of happened, we still did small things for Christmas. We get each other, a gift, whatever. But as far as celebrating Christmas, it hasn't really been... and I've grown to be very this is the season where I'm in my bag in regards to my mental health and trying to manage my depression. I'm diagnosed with a depression disorder. So for years I struggled, but this year's a little bit different. There's a lot of life around this holidays. My youngest brother has a child that's 4 or 5.
Oh, the baby.
And then the middle one, I'm the oldest, y'all, so the middle one, he's having a baby, and we just had his baby shower.
That's exciting.
So I'm able to see the life coming back into my mom for the holidays, sweet. And it's starting to bring back the life for me. When I came back from Virginia, I have a godson, and we did our Christmas last year. I did it up for him, got him we're a wrestling family through and through with my family and my god family. So I got him his wrestling belt, the world championship, and all the action figures. I'm gonna do it again, and I'm gonna probably hook him up with something else. And then he has a little cousin. My best friend's sister is my godson's mother, and his other sister is, they're like family too. So her son, I'm about to deck him up too. So there's so much young life, and it's like kind of restoring the feeling.
Yeah, that hearing you say that, and I think that's also why maybe a little bit the holiday feeling is dwindling for me, because all the kids in my immediate family are getting so much older now, and so like they don't care about you in Christmas. Like, it's not that they don't care about Christmas, but it's like their focus is just different. Whereas they used to love watching the movies, because I'm that corny, watching the movies and the popcorn and the arts and crafts. Like, I love doing all that crap.
And now it's becoming a little bit more self-centered for the holidays.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
there's ways we could get around that, though. I mean, we don't gotta watch the Christmas movies, but we could go to the.
We gotta watch the Christmas movies.
but we could start new. I've learned. And I've learned from watching my girlfriend and how she celebrates Christmas, because she's very much like you. She does all that corny stuff.
First of all, not corny.
But I've learned that. Okay, I've learned that you can reinvent the holidays and its traditions.
No, it's true. You have to sometimes.
It's one of the things. Like, one of the traditions we do is for my brother's birthday. He's a Christmas Eve baby. We have dinner and cake or whatever at his house.
So he never gets to really celebrate his birthday, because Christmas and birthday comes.
No, he gets both. No.
What? Oh, he's lucky.
No, no. He gets both.
Well, then some people just get mashed up together, and I was like, there you go.
No. He gets both.
Well, damn.
Yeah, that's a convo. But nonetheless, like, and so we might not necessarily celebrate Christmas together, but me, my mother, my brother, my other brother, his girlfriend, the babies, it's something that we can participate in now, around that time. And I reckon that once we all have children and we all are living in a space that's commutable amongst each other, then I could see how that can possibly change, where we do celebrate Christmas. Knowing my girlfriend, should probably be the type that be like, next year she'll be like, nope, we're having Christmas at our house. Everybody's coming. All your nephews and all your happy birthday, blah, 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 blah. But yeah.
That's nice.
There's ways around it, though.
Your family's just now having kids. My family they over that. They over kids. They just like, I'm ready for these kids to leave my house. So it's like a different feel. Because years ago, oh my gosh, Christmas was just ridiculous in a good and bad way. And so, yeah, now it's just it's a lot tamer. And I'm like, aw. But yeah, I definitely hear what you're saying. You just reinvent these things. You still keep it alive for yourself. Like,
when you're gonna pop out the kids, so that way.
Listen, don't turn into my mom right now. Like, can we fast forward next? But yeah, so it's like, yeah, definitely reinventing it. Last year, I think I took a day. I was like watching my movies. I had my hot chocolate, all the things that I loved that was Christmassy. I gave myself a Christmas day, and I was just like, I'm good, even though it wasn't like a big thing. Yeah, so I like had to do that over the years. I'm reinventing for myself so that I don't get like super depressed, because I guess not realizing what the term was for it, because I did it was a very real thing for me. Whenever it came to like really family centered holidays, I would get so sad, just really, really sad, because again, I don't have my own nuclear family. Everybody else kind of tends to center around their nuclear family, and then you're like an afterthought when you're single and by yourself, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm still here, hey guys, like and it's like, you can't be mad at them doing that, but then it still freaking sucks, right? And so just talking about what that is, seasonal depression, right? So there's actually a real term, and it's called seasonal affective disorder, which is long for rather, SAD. So have you guys ever heard that before? Have you?
I have heard of it, because that's what I'm diagnosed with.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. All right.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No.
I thought I told you.
You said mood disorder. I mean, like a, what you call it? Depressive disorder. Yeah. I didn't know which depressive.
Yes, I am sad.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
But
that.
not sad, but you know what I mean.
You have sad,
I
not that
have
you are
sad.
sad. But then technically, anyway, yeah,
Yeah, it's just a weird acronym, ain't it?
yeah, and people love acronyms.
Yeah, I know.
So,
Shout out to BET.
You want to give what your definition is, or should I read the definition that I have?
Well, from my experience with SAD, I was diagnosed with this when I lived in Virginia, as well as something else. But nonetheless, right? So when the seasons change, your mood change with it. And for the most part, it's really, from my understanding, it's more of a depression disorder. But it can manifest itself in ways that is not depression, anger, hyperactivity, things along those lines. Like I know I have a buddy who has bipolar disorder and SAD, and it manifests itself in different ways for him. So I reckon that's I've been saying reckon a lot, but I can imagine that's what it's that's from my experience. The technical definition of it, I'm really not too sure. What's the technical?
So the technical definition is a mood disorder characterized by depression that occurs at the same time every year.
Yeah.
Seasonal affective disorder occurs in climates where there is less sunlight at certain times of the year. So
Seattle.
So I have, like I mentioned before, a public health background. So that's actually something that makes perfect sense. Like when it's colder, you don't go outside as much. The sun is not really out. You don't get a lot of vitamin D. And so you tend to be more fatigued. You tend to be more tired. And your mood tends to be not as peppy and happy. So that actually makes a lot more sense that people in these areas will, be more sad.
Yeah, Seattle is one of the big places I remember.
Oh my gosh.
About Seattle and Northern California.
The time that I've been there, I think I went to Seattle and I was there for a week. I didn't see the sun that one time.
Yeah.
It was just so dreary and gray.
Minnesota's like that too. Don't ask me why
I couldn't do. I actually have never been. I actually want to visit. But anyway, I digress. So, so I didn't realize, I guess that's what it was. Like that I was feeling like that. Mm-hmm. But it tends to happen around the holidays for certain. Like I'll be happy for the holidays, but then sad. Just this feeling of like, oh, I wish this was better, or I wish this, or I wish that, and it's like kind of getting a little bit of a funk. So yeah, I've been just more cognizant of that. I guess you can say. I own it because I'm like, you're allowed to feel sad. You're allowed to feel this way, especially now. Like before, my grandma was still around, and that's what gave me a little bit more joy. And the kids were smaller; it was a little more joy. And now they're older, and then my grandma's not here. Now I'm like, okay, you're allowed to be sad at this point. You know what I'm saying? It's just making better decisions when you're sad. Because last year, I didn't make good decisions. I ended up doing stupid shit. But anyway, yeah, because
we're gonna talk about that after the
sadness and depression can be a tricky space to be in, because then we try to like fill the void with stuff that's not healthy. And so I was this yesterday, I'm very mindful of that. Like I'm not gonna like just do things in excess just to try to make myself feel better. So I've been good in that regard. So I think I feel good because of that piece of it, that I'm like I'm pretty even, but I still know I'm sad. You know what I mean? Like yeah. But I don't know. Well, I mean, you just mentioned that you have kind of it's been quite a few years, but you experienced a death around the holiday time, and how that affected kind of the mood of the holiday.
Yeah.
So. Do you still think it's lingering like that?
It always will linger. I mean, more than anything, I guess, in many ways, it's almost like developing PTSD, where you've experienced so much disappointment around this time, that the weather change, the holidays could become a trigger.
I actually never thought about it that way.
I've experienced like my worst breakup from like it was literally a 4-month breakup.
4 months.
Oh
my Lord.
That's a story that maybe we could get into another. That we could get into in another podcast episode. Or
okay, we might have to schedule that.
Yeah, might have to plug that one. But like like after the worst breakup of my life, and at that time, I haven't had any bad breakups since then. But that's because I've been breaking up.
Oh yeah, so you been running?
Player.
Oh,
but
word?
no, is that, and then just the manifestation of my mental health illnesses coming to life during those times. So it definitely can. I mean, no disrespect to those who actually have PTSD, but those dramatic life experiences that I've particularly faced, and I can imagine for a lot of other people, and specifically, I mean, I understand white people go through stuff too, but specifically from poor Black economic environments, poor Latino economic environments, where you don't have much, and people are out and robbing, stealing to put a gift on your child's, Christmas tree, things along those lines. Those just dramatic things that have to happen, or just unfortunately happens, can really traumatize and change the way you view the holidays, and that's definitely been my case.
So there's people. I mean, just to touch on what you talked about, because mental health is important for me, and not to downplay your feelings or anybody's feelings. When you mentioned the PTSD part, is yes, there are people who are diagnosed with PTSD, but we all can experience PTSD if you've had a traumatic experience, right? If that remembering that or being triggered brings you to that time and space and that feeling, that is PTSD. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. So we all can experience that, though it's varying degrees, right? And it doesn't make us immobile where we can't function day to day. But yeah, we gotta honor that. Like we've been through some shit, and and it will cause you to have that lingering effect. So yeah, I hear you, and I know you mentioned experiencing breakups. We're not gonna talk about the 4-month breakup, but we'll talk about it in another podcast. But just in general, like I think honestly, I'm just gonna say this, and y'all can say what you want. I think people who break up with people before or around holidays are shitty ass people.
Of course.
Period.
Of course.
Because I don't think it was something that breakups don't usually just happen like that, right? It's not something that's like immediate. You had that shit on your noggin for a little while.
Of course.
Why the fuck? If you had it on your noggin for that little bit of while, why don't you just wait a little bit freaking longer, right? And it's not to say wait till after the holidays, collect your gifts and shit. That's not what it is. But it's like holidays are such a tough time. It's supposed to be a jovial time. Why would you sit there and put so much of shit on someone during that time period? I think that's just so shitty.
Also, to play devil's advocate, though, do you want to be the person that has somebody in your circle that you do not want in your circle during the holiday season? So yes, I get it, because I've been that person that I've been broken up with around that time. It's a real, and that in itself could be a real traumatizing event, and dampens the meaning of the holidays.
So here's the thing, though, right? Why didn't you do it well before the holidays, right?
Because that's when the person is a shitty person.
Yeah, but people do literally right before. I have a friend that just experienced a breakup literally the day before fucking Thanksgiving. What kind of terrible person are you? Literally the day before. That's messed up to me. Come on, sis. You couldn't have waited. Yeah. Come on, or just done it a month prior, because you was feeling whatever you was feeling a month prior.
I don't think anybody realizes how selfish the holiday season really is.
In what regard? What do you mean by
that? We look for the I want to feel good, and of course, that feeling of giving makes us feel good, but we're giving because it makes us feel good.
This is true.
But I say that to say that humans, we're just selfish in general. People are just selfish. We don't consider those things. Nobody thinks about it, the other person's well-being or their mental health when they're making these kind of decisions. Granted, you shouldn't have to take into account. Sorry, let me backtrack that. You shouldn't minimize your well-being or your mental health for the sake of somebody else's.
That.
But you should be mindful, like if I have a buddy who broke up with someone and he was living out of state. He had no family there. He was by himself, and the person broke up with him. And they broke up with him the first time the day before his birthday. And he was living with her.
That's a shitty person.
You see what I'm saying? But and I think we
sorry.
I think we all understood. We all understood. You know, she had to prioritize herself, but it's like, nigga, it's the day before his birthday.
I understand.
And, you know, just by nature,
right?
Humans
Like
so selfish.
listen, I'm number uno when it comes to prioritizing your feelings and shit like that. I just think there's
a way to do it.
Right, there's a better way to do it without also having to traumatize someone, right? And the thing is, in not traumatizing yourself, does that mean it's okay to traumatize other people? No,
yeah.
because you already know what the plan is. This person has no idea. So you already came up with your plan. You already know what you're doing. You already know how it's going to get done. So you have a little bit sense of security, if that makes sense. Even though you don't know how the actual breakup itself is going to play out. You have a plan. You know you want to break up. You know that this is because of X, Y, Z, X, Y, blah, 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 whatever the reason is. This person may be completely oblivious. And you're going to wait till it's like really important times of their life. Birthdays are holidays, okay? Birthdays are important in my life, period, for myself and people around me. I no, okay? I don't play with birthdays. So birthdays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, and any other holidays that other people might deem important. Those are the main ones for me. But it's like, why would you wait? Right? Because think about it now. You are now going to quote unquote dirty that time for that person, right? I'm probably using the wrong terminology, but now whenever next birthday comes around, that person has gonna have that lingering memory. Oh, remember that time that bitch broke up with me? Yep. Or if it was around Christmas, even if you move past that person, years go by, right? There's always that lingering thought of like, oh yeah, last year around this time, this is what was happening. Because our brains are like that, and some people are reflective. And so when you go back and think about prior, you're going to always have that memory. Like, why? As opposed to some random Tuesday, early December. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not significant. So it's not going to always be that connection. And I think people who do stuff like that is pretty shitty. And yeah, I mean, I don't, unless you, like, find somebody, the person like hits you, the person you just found out the person cheated on you, and it's like something really like spontaneous, like that's like boom, that you're like, nah, fuck this, I'm done. A lot of times it is thought out and planned when you want to break up. And so there's no way you can't tell me that it just happened that day or the week before or some shit, and now you're like, oh, okay, now I'm gonna break up with you. You should have did it then. Don't wait till something like that. But I digress. Listen, I'm gonna get on my soapbox. I just don't like that shit. I don't like it. And I've never experienced it, but I just think that's shitty as fuck. Like, no. I hate hearing stories like that. Like, why would you do some shit like that? Because now, think about this. Now, you change that person's story, in a sense, and now the connection they're going to have with what XYZ now is going to change, right? A lot of people that I know who don't like their birthdays is because they had some trauma or some type of history in the past because of that. A lot of people who don't like holidays or Christmas, Thanksgiving, is because there is some history or trauma behind. So it's like, now moving forward, this person's going to move forward into their future, or, you know, with this mindset.
And now they're going
and they're going to exactly. That is the point. And that's the part I don't like, because now you are traumatizing someone because of your needs. Not to say your needs are not important, but you didn't have to traumatize the person. People need to understand that. Breaking up with somebody does not have to be traumatizing. It really doesn't. But we think that it has to be something that's terrible and traumatizing. It does not. You should not have to be traumatized by your previous relationship. It's not necessary. There is a possibility to be like, you know what, bro, I'm good. Can we just not, you know what I'm saying? And then that'll be fine. Like, but anyway, I'm sorry. I just, nope, I don't like it. I don't like it. You're a shitty ass person if you done it. I'm sorry. That's just how I feel. I don't care for that. And it really sucks. It really, really fucks the person up really, really bad. I think it does more so when it's linked, in my opinion.
When you say linked, what do you mean?
Linked to an occasion, a birthday or a holiday or something like that. to be honest.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's not cool at all. But anyway,
off the box.
Yes, I'm off. I'm sorry. Had to vent, y'all. Had to vent. But I mean, dealing with not only breakups, right? There's different type of relationships we have in our lives, and especially that not have to, but it comes to forefront around the holidays, and sometimes we can't avoid them, and that's like family, right? Dealing with family members, and like earlier you was just talking about when you gonna have them kids, bruh. Like holidays are usually one of those times I'm like, fuck, like you're gonna see certain auntie, people. Oh my gosh, and it's a constant questioning microscope to your life, like why you ain't got this and why you ain't got that and why you always doing this and why you always doing that, and it's like it can be so draining because you want to be happy and you want to see those people, but you don't want to feel like you're being interrogated. You don't want to be drained, right? You don't want these people to suck the life out of you. You want to be able to enjoy the time and the space, and a lot of times you can't do that for whatever the reasoning. Is that something that resonates with you, or people kind of have that experience?
Now, for me, because now I'm the only one out of my mom's children who don't have kids. And I'm the only one of my grandmother's grandchildren who doesn't have kids. No, wait, there's one more. Two more. So there's three of us. But one is like 13, so he
that don't count.
And the other one is a year younger than me. So, like, most of them have kids. That pressure, not that pressure, I guess the comments is coming. I just laugh. I'm like, yeah. I can understand why, for women, it'd be a lot different because it promotes the idea that your life is incomplete without having children. So I can understand why the experience is different for women. But I just laugh and pass it off. I have a good pal of mine, who him and his wife have been working on having a child for a couple of years, and he's in a similar boat where all his siblings have children. So this year, this time of the year, for the first time, I'm experiencing that he is depressed during this time because he's buying gifts for his godchildren, his nephews. He's buying gifts for all these kids, and not near one of them is his.
Yeah.
So I mean, I see it from both perspectives.
Yeah.
I'm just lucky to be in a position where I could just laugh at my mom and tell her she's crazy.
Yeah. Sometimes though, you can't laugh at all because again, you probably don't get it as much as I get it, but it's annoying. But I can definitely understand where your friend is at. I've had that experience too, like of just sitting back and just like, damn, like when is it gonna be me or my turn? That doesn't happen anymore though, but but years ago, like, yeah, it was that feeling. Now I'm just like, I'm happy. It's a weird, I enjoy seeing their little faces, but at the same time I'm happy when they're gone. So it's like, yeah, it's a blessing, it's cool and all that, but then I see how ragged and tired their parents look and how they're just so over everything, and I'm just like, oh, I could just chuck y'all to do so I go home, my place is quiet, it's clean, like I don't have to deal with nonsense, I don't have to deal with these toys y'all about to have to play and gonna be all over the place. I don't have to deal with that. So to me, I'm like, okay, I'm cool now. Like I've just gotten to that place where I'm just like, let me enjoy these years that I don't have to deal with certain things anymore. Let me really get to that space. Enjoy sleeping in and enjoy not having to deal with these loud ass toys. And, somebody waking you up at 6 o'clock in the morning, somebody hungry, like stuff like that. So I get it. Holidays does have a way of magnifying those things. And I don't know if it's my family. Well, I don't know if it's the season itself, but how people just seem extra bold, you know what I'm saying? To just say some stuff to you, they just fix their mouth.
But old folk get bolder as they get older.
Oh gosh, don't they? And maybe that's one of the, not maybe, it is one of the things I appreciate about my grandma. Like, her mouth was reckless, but it was never reckless with me, right? So she never pressed me. Like, when you gonna have kids and when you gonna get married? She never pressed it. When my mother would press me, she wouldn't say much, but then, like, when she would, like, when my mother would be done, she'll talk to me and be like, you know, it's okay. You know, like, she'll just, like, be like, don't worry about it. And she never really pressed it too much. And I appreciate that so much. Like, I couldn't have dealt with if she did the same thing to me. Because my mother is, listen, Lord, okay? Lord. And I guess the holidays.
Hey, Grandmama AJ, you got chill for a little bit, Grandmama AJ.
Listen, like,
let her do her thought in the blind.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a throwback plug from previous episodes,
you know what I'm saying?
Y'all.
Go back and listen to that if you haven't. But yeah, it's annoying, and I can see how if you're not mentally in a good space, how people keep bringing stuff like that can make you really freaking depressed. Cause like it can really make you sad. Like in that moment, you can put up a strong face and a strong front, but when you go home or when you're quiet, in just a quiet space by yourself, you can really be like, oh man, you know, like I can see how that can make someone feel pretty crappy, and that's not cool, y'all. So if you're that damn person, stop asking people about their goddamn womb, right? Stop asking them when they gonna have kids. Let them live their life. Ask them if they're happy.
Remember that
Ask them if they have joy, okay, in their hearts and in their world, as opposed to having some damn kids. And
remember that show? Movie. They're white people.
Yeah.
We need to do like one for like black people, but made by black people for black people. Like nobody else can listen. It's like they're black people. Stop forcing your women to have children early because you want grandchildren.
Exactly. And the thing is, you got a truckload already. Leave me alone.
How many grandchildren your mama got?
She got 7. Yeah, 7. She got 7 of them joints. Leave me alone.
She's about to start a bobsled team.
Okay, like, listen. Anyway. But to add on to that, for those who are single during this time and those who know single people, check on your single friends, okay? This they may act like it's not, but it may be a very tough time for them. They may seem like they got it together and they're all strong and all that other good stuff. They may seem like, to you, if you're in a relationship or if you're married or if you got kids, they may seem like they live in the time of their life, not having to deal with those responsibilities. And though your single friend's life may seem amazing, incredible, they don't have all the responsibilities you have. You don't know what they're going through. And a lot of times, these same folk are really sad, or they're depressed, or they're just in their feelings about whatever it could be. So just check in on them. Invite them over. You know what I'm saying? Just shoot them a text, shoot them a call, FaceTime them. Just let them know that you care about them and that you're there for them. And that you just care about them, because sometimes you just really just need that one person to just reach out for you. You know what I mean? Reach out to you and make you feel connected to the world.
That's a fact.
Anything else you want to add, Vision?
No, I feel like I've gotten too personal on this episode. And now you want to make another episode based on me being personal for this one?
We're about to go in. Oh, yes. So look forward to that, y'all. That we're going to have a breakup episode. So please look and wait for that. I'm gonna drop the dates on those.
Can I put my 2-week letter in for a vacation for that week?
Nah, there's no vacations. No vacations. Nope.
But you, speaking of vacations, you just about to announce.
You right. I am. Yes, I am.
Lord, so I can't go.
I'm gonna be taking. I will be taking a little holiday break from the podcast, and so this will be the last episode until February 2020. So I'm gonna take the month of January off. I usually drop an episode every 2 weeks, so you'll be missing about 2 episodes. You guys will be alright. You know what I'm saying? Go back and listen to the other episodes. Send me some questions. I don't know. You want some advice? I don't know. Whatever you want to do in the meantime, but since I need a break, right? I just need the time to just not have to deal with nothing, because I am still trying to figure out all this other house buying stuff, so just a little downtime.
Hey, where can we mail our housewarming gifts for you?
I need to make sure I got a house first. So let me work on that. And then I'll let y'all know. Right? But just let y'all know, month of January, we'll be on break for the holidays, and then we'll be back fresh, ready with new content February 2020.
February. Ooh, we gonna do sad episodes in February?
Nah.
For Valentine's Day?
I mean, no, not for Valentine's. Maybe after.
Oh, Lord. I ain't
Maybe
with you.
All right. So thank you everyone for joining us.
Peace.
Thank you for tuning into this week's episode of the Oasis Podcast. I hope you were able to find something that resonated with you on your journey. Don't forget to subscribe, share this episode, and like us on Instagram at the Oasis Podcast. If you have any questions or comments, direct message us on Instagram or email us at ajsoasis@gmail.com. Again, that's AAYJAYSOASIS@gmail.com.